Bringing it all together. Is property management right for you? As we come off the previous sections, violations, accounting systems, trust account controls, and broker responsibility, you should now have a clear picture of what property management really looks like behind the scenes. It is not just collecting rent or placing tenants. It is compliance, systems, accountability, and constant decision-making under pressure. Now comes the real question. Should you actually do it? Because just because your license allows you to manage property does not mean it is the right fit for your business, your personality, or your risk tolerance. This section is about taking everything you've learned and turning it inward, evaluating whether property management is the right path for you. The opportunity versus the reality. There is no question that property management offers opportunity. Arizona's rental market continues to grow, with more investors, more rentals, and more demand for management services. On paper, it looks like a great business: recurring income, long-term clients, and portfolio growth. But here's the reality that ties directly back to everything we've covered. Property management is also one of the most heavily regulated and complaint-driven areas in real estate. In fact, landlord-tenant issues consistently rank among the top complaints to ADRA. So while it can be a win-win, it can quickly become a lose-lose if you are not following the law, maintaining proper accounting systems, and exercising strong broker supervision. The accidental property manager. Where problems begin. Many agents do not intentionally enter property management. It happens by accident. A client asks you to lease their home. Then they ask you to just keep an eye on it. Then maybe collect rent. Then handle a repair. Before you know it, you are managing a property. This is exactly how many violations begin, without the proper systems, agreements, or understanding of the law. For example, helping an out-of-state owner in Gilbert by collecting rent without a PMEA or trust account setup is not just helping. It is unlicensed or improper property management activity. This ties directly back to Section 10 and licensing requirements. Talk with your broker. This is not a solo activity. Property management is not something you do casually. It requires broker approval, systems, and supervision. Many brokers avoid property management altogether because of the liability, trust account requirements, and increased ADRA scrutiny. And after everything we covered in sections 9 through 12, that should make sense. For example, if your broker does not have clear policies, trust account procedures, or training in place, you are stepping into a high-risk environment. Strong broker support is not optional. It is essential. The skill set. This is a different business. Property management requires a completely different skill set than traditional sales. You are not just negotiating deals. You are managing people, problems, and money every single day. You must be able to handle conflict between tenants and owners, make decisions under pressure, communicate clearly and professionally, enforce rules while maintaining relationships. For example, when a tenant is upset about repairs and an owner refuses to spend money, you are in the middle. This is where your professionalism and problem-solving ability are tested. Balancing owners and tenants. The constant challenge. One of the biggest challenges in property management is balancing the needs of owners and tenants. The owner is your client, but the tenant is your customer. If you ignore tenant concerns, you create complaints and turnover. If you overspend on repairs, you upset the owner. For example, an owner in Scottsdale may want to minimize expenses, while the tenant expects immediate repairs. You must navigate both sides while staying compliant with the law. This ties directly back to fiduciary duty and habitability requirements we discussed earlier. Do you handle conflict well? Property management is not a calm business. You will deal with late rent, maintenance emergencies, lease violations, and emotional situations. If you cannot remain calm under pressure, this business will be extremely challenging. For example, handling a tenant dispute at 9 p.m. about a broken AC unit in Phoenix during summer is not unusual. It is part of the job. Your ability to respond professionally in these moments defines your success. Education, the difference between success and violations. This ties directly back to everything we've covered in this course. If you choose to enter property management, you must commit to education. You need to understand landlord-tenant law, fair housing laws, trust account management broker, supervision requirements. For example, many new property managers get into trouble with wrongful eviction simply because they do not understand the legal process. Education is not optional. It is your protection. Systems, training, and mentorship. Successful property managers do not operate alone. They build systems and learn from experienced professionals. This may include working under an experienced property manager, joining professional organizations, or taking specialized courses. For example, learning how to properly reconcile trust accounts or handle tenant disputes is best done with guidance, not trial and error, because in this business, mistakes are not cheap. Choosing your niche property management is not one size fits all. You may focus on single-family homes, multifamily units, vacation rentals, or long-term rentals. Each comes with different challenges, systems, and risk levels. Choosing a niche allows you to build expertise and operate more efficiently. How this section connects to the entire course. This section is the final reality check. We started this course by learning the laws, agreements, and systems. We moved into violations, audits, accounting, and broker responsibility. Now we end with the most important question. Are you prepared to operate at this level? Because property management is not just an opportunity, it is a responsibility. And the brokers who succeed are the ones who understand the risks, build strong systems, and commit to doing it the right way every time. Online discussion. Why do many agents become accidental property managers? Answer: because they start by helping clients informally and gradually take on management responsibilities without proper systems or agreements. What is the biggest difference between property management and traditional sales? Answer: property management requires ongoing responsibility, problem solving, and compliance rather than one-time transactions. Why is broker support critical in property management? Answer: because of the high level of liability, regulatory requirements, and need for systems and supervision. Multiple choice questions. What is a major risk of becoming an accidental property manager? Operating without proper systems and compliance. Answer: operating without proper systems and compliance. What is one of the biggest challenges in property management? Balancing the needs of owners and tenants. Answer: balancing the needs of owners and tenants. What is essential before entering property management? Education and broker support. Answer: education and broker support.